Relationship advice. Update. My wife and I had a discussion with our 21-year-old daughter over her engagement to a 36-year-old man whom we saw as a surrogate son. I have many concerns over their relationship. Original story. I do not know what to say to her. I posted this on another Reddit and it got taken down for the predatory nature of my daughter's relationship. I was told to try this sub and one other one. Here is the background. Hello. I am looking for a younger person's perspective on this matter. I know my son frequents this site, so we thought this might be the place to get it. My daughter is a 21-year-old female. Her fiancé is 36. She just graduated college and moved out on her own this past fall. My wife and I are 58 and 55 years old respectively. We also have 2 sons. When my children were young, we had a close family friend who died tragically in 2001, leaving behind a 16-year-old. We took him into our home for over 4 years while he finished school, and he was able to stand on his own. We gave him a substantial monetary donation to start his own business, which has since become wildly successful. I never minded any of this one bit, because I always saw him as one of my own children. He is now 36 years old. This past Sunday we had a family dinner, at which time my daughter decided to inform us that not only were they engaged, they had also been seeing each other for the past 3 years. My wife, sons, and I all feel incredibly betrayed and blindsided by this revelation. The amount of lies and secret keeping they had to be telling to keep this relationship from us is astonishing. The large age difference is also very disturbing to us. I told both of them in no uncertain terms that I did not approve of this relationship, that he was no longer allowed in my home, and as long as my daughter continued this relationship, nor was she. I now see that alienating my daughter would cause more harm. I want to be there for her, but I do not want her to think I am accepting of this relationship and want it to end immediately. I am disgusted and angered by my daughter's relationship I just recently found out about. However, I do not want to alienate my daughter and put her in more danger. How can I talk to her and make her realize this relationship is dangerous, predatory, and disturbing, while still making her feel safe and welcome? Also, in case this wasn't clear enough, yes, he helped raise her. He babysat her, changed her diapers, came to family dinners every week, went on family vacations, etc. He was a constant part of her life since she was 1. Now for the top advice before reading the first update. That is an enormous yikes. Marrying someone whose diapers you changed is not okay. As far as your daughter goes, she's had this guy in her ear for a long time. You can consider her heavily manipulated, along the lines of someone indoctrinated into a cult, or taken advantage of by a skilled scammer. She is an adult and not necessarily immune to being held responsible for her choices, but you do have to remember, she was a child. He was an experienced man she trusted. There's a level of responsibility he bears that she does not. Ask her to come see you and your spouse alone. If you think she would respond better to your partner or your sons, have one of them ask. Tell her that you all feel very hurt by the deception, given how long this has been going on. Ask why she felt the need to lie. Deep down, she probably knows that there's something wrong with it. She'd have said something earlier if not. Having her explain the thought process may make her question it for herself. Try to ask this without anger. In fact, the more not mad, just disappointed you can bring, the better. Has she ever babysat? Ask her if she'd date a kid she had to take to the bathroom. If she'd date a 6-year-old, or if she'd be cool with her dad dating one of her friends, because that's kind of what it feels like here. Completely different life stages. In the end, if she remains unmoved, you have some negotiation to do. You won't go to or talk about it, support the wedding, but you'll always accept her alone back home if she needs help. Maybe she's welcome to come visit after the hurt heals, but he's not. Maybe family therapy is necessary. That's on you to figure out. But saying you can't come back until you ditch him, is not going to make her feel like you have her best interests at heart. Consider some more nuance. Good luck. I also wonder if the relationship was earlier than 3 years and how far deep that goes. Oh, please don't do the, not mad, just disappointed. I grew up with this and it is hard to even read or type that phrase, and is the one thing I have vowed to never say to my children. Anger is passionate and fleeting, we've all felt it and understand that emotional reactions come and go, and may not reflect our logical and empathetic thought processes. Disappointment is lasting. Disappointment implies failure. Disgust. Shame. Are you actually disappointed anyway, or are you scared? Scared that this relationship could have a measurable negative impact on your daughter's life, could hurt her in ways that she doesn't or can't currently see? Perhaps you can lead with, "We love you and care about your health, well-being, and safety more than any other people on this planet. And we consider it our honor and duty to do anything necessary to help you in making sure this immense decision is going to be conducive to that continued health, well-being, and safety. We are asking you to please allow us to be your trusted advisors right now and explain to us how this seemingly sudden engagement came to be and potentially answer some of our questions. Are you willing to do that? Be prepared to enthusiastically compromise on when or how any conversation like that happens. And when it does, take great care to listen more than you talk, and resist the urge to dismiss her emotions and opinions as either superfluous or inadequate due to her age. Ask yourselves what your priorities are here, and what your firm boundaries are. Write them all down and start numbering and crossing out, etc. And get a very honest and complete idea of how you both plan to move forward, considering as many likely scenarios as possible. And contact a therapist if you don't already have one in your life. Ask them for information on what the possible psychological factors are with this relationship and about any potential negative impacts this marriage might have. Arm yourselves with knowledge to help show your daughter that you're not just giving your personal opinions, but expressing very real concerns based on study of real scientific evidence, and hope to arm her with that knowledge as well. Good luck. And now for the first update. Hello everyone. I would first and foremost like to thank everyone who gave helpful words of advice and encouragement on my first post. I apologize for not being able to respond to all comments and messages, but my wife and I read through them all. We very much appreciate getting unbiased opinions from a demographic we normally would not. Yesterday, we went to my daughter's apartment, because we know Jackson works all day Saturdays. I first apologized to her over my initial reaction that came out of anger. I made it clear that her safety and well-being was my first concern. We had a long discussion, and there were some things that my daughter said that alarmed me. These aren't necessarily in the order of which we discussed them, just things that stick out in my head. The first thing was that she said she knew she loved him since she was 14, at which point Jackson was 29. She says that they never did anything intimate until she was after 18. However, since their engagement has now become public, concerned family members have contacted me with events that seemed innocent at the time, but now seem suspicious. For example, my wife's sister told us about a time when the kids, my daughter, one of my two sons, and Jackson, were over her house. My daughter was 16, and Jackson was 31. My sister-in-law said that she heard Jackson leaving my daughter's room in the morning. At the time she didn't think much of it because there have been times where the siblings or cousins have fallen asleep in each other's rooms after watching a movie late at night or something. My son also told me about a time when he had run into my daughter in town, when she was 15, with Jackson when she was supposed to be in school. There are other instances I had to delete for length reasons. We asked her what it was she loved about him. She gave us a bunch of reasons, but one of the things that I think is alarming is she said how generous and caring he has always been to her. She told us about all of the extra things he would give to her, for example for her birthday or holidays, apart from the rest of the family. She doesn't think this is anything suspicious, because he said that the reason he was giving her the additional gifts was because she was always overshadowed by her brothers, and she deserved extra attention that she didn't get from her mother and I. My daughter told us that the decision to keep the relationship a secret was mutual. They thought that if her mother and I found out about the relationship, we would stop paying for her apartment and school tuition, and she is now graduated. She said they did not tell her friends, because they didn't think it was right to ask them to lie to us as well. His friends were aware of the relationship. My wife asked if she had felt bad, or guilty about all the lying they had to do to keep the relationship a secret. We were having weekly dinners for 3 years when they had been dating while they sat across the table from us pretending they weren't. Our daughter had even made up boys she told us she had been dating at college. A few times she had posted photos of herself with a male friend and had told us that was a man she was dating. She said that she felt guilty about lying, but Jackson had told her that it would be worth it in the long run. I introduced the idea of family therapy. She said that she did not need it. I told her that she was always welcome into our home, though Jackson is not. She would like Jackson and I to speak, but I do not think that is a wise idea right now. I appreciate any input on this situation. Thank you. Adding additional worrisome incidents that I put in a comment. Her niece, who is her age, has told us that there were times when my wife and I would go out and Jackson would come over to hang out with them. She recalled multiple times when my daughter and Jackson would cuddle on the couch together, under blankets, etc. This behavior never happened when my wife and I were home. There were times when my daughter had get-togethers at our house when we were out of town and Jackson would supply them with alcohol. My middle son, whose bedroom is the only one downstairs, had heard Jackson leaving our house late at night/early in the morning a few times well after he had moved out and was not staying over. When he had asked him why he was there, Jackson had told him he had left things at our home and needed to pick them up. This would have been when my daughter was 15 to 18. My brother has told me on a family vacation, Jackson had too much to drink and he overheard him calling my daughter Princess. At the time he had assumed he was calling her this in a teasing, sibling way, like an insult, but he realizes now he was saying it as a flirtatious pet name. She was 15. Now for more advice before reading the final update. The man is definitely a creep. I don't even know what I can advise you to do about it now that she's 21. But that man is definitely not a good person. Yes, I feel very betrayed and blindsided. The fact that he encouraged her lying to you suggests, in my opinion, that he knew it's not right. Any situation in which your significant other wants you to lie to people is a little alarming. It's clear that he had feelings for her before she was legal, which sparks the question, why was he interested in a minor? I think it's completely understandable to be concerned in this situation. I would continue to be there for her and emphasize honesty. If you have no say in what she does, the best thing is to make her comfortable with coming to you, because if this turns sour, she's going to need a lot of support. Definitely keep therapy on the table. The taking pictures with other guys and posting on Facebook thing being his idea, is pretty sick. OP, I am so sorry you and your wife are having to watch your daughter be taken advantage of like this. I'm absolutely seething at what this man has done to your child. I remember your original post, and I'm disgusted that this ended up being the outcome. Just try your best to support your daughter and never let that line of communication be cut. Someday she'll thank you for it, I assure you. Karma will get this sick POS for what he did. Thank you very much. I hope so. And now for the final update. I have received many messages asking for an update. The truth is, my wife and I have decided to just accept the relationship. We have made it clear that we think it is inappropriate, and we are furious and devastated at when the relationship began. However, my daughter has admitted that the reason they opened up about their relationship and engagement is because my daughter is currently 16 weeks pregnant with their first child. For the health of my daughter and grandchild, we believe the best thing to do is be supportive and make it clear to her that our door is always open to her. Unfortunately, my daughter has made it clear that she does not want any animosity or hostile feelings regarding her fiancé. We are no longer going to pursue charges against him because we do not believe that is best for the situation right now. Understandably, my two sons are not happy with what's going on. There was a physical altercation between Jackson and my oldest son, however that has since been settled and all parties have agreed to behave amicably for the sake of my daughter and her child. Thank you everyone for your words of advice and encouragement. Now for closing comments. How hard for you and your family. I wish you all the best. I'm sure you will have your guard up regarding your daughter's fiancé, and perhaps someday in the future he will reveal himself enough so that your daughter can leave him. Good luck. Thank you very much. It is difficult because we want our granddaughter to grow up in a happy, whole home, however we want our daughter to leave him. It is a very confusing situation. Also, you should seek out a professional. Your daughter has been indoctrinated by this man her entire life. He has shown her a different way of interpreting truth, interpreting your love, and he has convinced her that lying is okay. You cannot go forward into the future without having some better idea of how to counter his tactics. None of us on here know how to do that. Look up some therapists who specialize in abusive relationships, and you and your additional whole family, wife and two sons, need to start going. Not to begin any verbal attacks on the fiancé, but instead to start figuring out how to communicate with your daughter so that she can see and hear the truth from you. I don't know if I'm writing this down properly, but the end result is, arm yourself. He got her pregnant on purpose to trap her. And it worked. I'm sorry for your family. Good luck. Get therapy. Don't give up on her. There's hope, but it might take years. Now she's pregnant at 21 from a pred. I can't see how she can be so naive to ruin her life this way. Karma will hit that guy at some point. Good that she has a family who cares. Sucks to see the pred just got off scot-free because he had something to leverage against you all. Here's hoping nothing bad happens to their baby or he doesn't get caught with statutory charges against a different kid. The fact that he so carefully convinced your daughter to hide everything for years, means he honed his ability to manipulate minors to a T. I don't know if anyone else has suggested this, but you should consider opening a savings account and putting money into it for if/when she needs to literally escape with her kids from this monster. Yes, we have an account for her that was for when she got married to put a down payment on a house with that has over $80,000, that we will now be saving for her for emergency circumstances. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.